Welcome back, everyone. You know, there's a new horror and thriller movie called Heretic, and here to talk about that is our favorite local movie reviewers, Bart and Jennifer Mills. Welcome, Bart and Jen.
Good morning.
All right, so this movie, tell us all about it.
Well, this is a movie by a couple called Scott Beck and Brian Woods. They are the directors and writers of this movie. More famously, they were the writers of A Quiet Place, which is ironic because A Quiet Place was a movie about people who could not talk, and this is a movie about a guy who can't shut up. But this is Hugh Grant is probably the most famous face in here. He plays sort of an older Englishman, and he is now Hugh Grant is, by the way, in his villain stage, which is much more fun than his rom-com stage, to be honest. But two Mormon girls played by Sophie Thatcher. Sophie's most famous for Yellow Jackets, and a girl named Chloe West, who was in The Fabelmans. They come to visit him, trying to recruit him. And then they have this conversation that goes from a real sort of earnest conversation about the nature of faith, and it just gets more and more troubling as we go along. And eventually they find out that this guy isn't what he appears to be, and this house is considerably more troubling than they thought it was originally.
Right.
And that's about all I can tell you. This is kind of it's a drama horror, and it is one of those movies that you really almost need to see. I can't spoil too much of it.
Yeah, when I watched the thriller or what's the word I'm looking for? Trailer. Thank you. I was kind of lost in this house of what this house was supposed to be. I don't know. Can you explain a little bit more on that?
Well, the house is actually a maze that he's constructed. So you really can't escape the house.
Oh,
this is another one of those, the most improbable part about this movie is the fact that he's somehow able to find contractors to come in and build his house into the side of what it seems to be a mountain and these sub basements and everything. And I can't even get a drywall guy to show up. So, but that's beside the point. I'm bitter.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. It was like, this house is kind of weird, but, it is what it is. It's a movie. So this is a rated R movie. It's 110 minutes. Since it is kind of like a thriller horror, is there jump scares in this movie, or is it kind of one of those things that just kind of have you?
I don't think there's many jump scares. This is a creeper. It really is. It's one of those things that, it is really, really a long monologue. It's kind of, jokingly, it's kind of a TED Talk from a guy that, sort of kind of knows a lot about religion, but most of it's kind of an NPR-based knowledge and not a true theologian's knowledge, I guess. So it's creepy. It's creepy because of Hugh Grant. Frankly, he is the center of this movie. It works because of him. I'm not sure who else they could have put in there.
Right.
And because he defies expectations, he's such a seemingly genteel guy. He's British, so he seems nice on the surface, unless you're Irish. It gets creepier as we go along because he makes that shift into something that is more troubling.
Yeah. When I saw Hugh Grant in this trailer, I thought, well, this is an interesting choice, but it seems like he fits the role perfectly. I don't know.
Absolutely.
He really carried the whole movie. I mean, the movie was good, but he makes it great.
All right, so we're going to go to my favorite website, which of course is Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 77% audience approval rating. Do you agree with that?
I think your people aren't big fans of dialogue and thought, so that's probably not going. That's about right for it. I mean, it really is. It's not one of those movies. It's not for everybody. I mean, I can't recommend it to a lot of people. Certainly, I thought it was a lot of fun just for his performance. But it's both too faux intellectual for a lot of people who don't want to have to think too much, and it's not quite there for people who are actual thinkers. So it's somewhere in between. But if you're in it for the performance, I say it's pretty good.
I mean, after the movie, I had mentioned to him, I said, I felt like it was sitting through a play. There's only like 3 scenes, 3 set pieces, and then just talking. So it's kind of like going to see a play.
Huh, interesting. All right, so real quick, are you going to give this one a thumbs up, thumbs down, or just somewhere in the middle?
Now, I'm somewhere in the middle on it. I really do. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't know how many. You have to be able to You have to be able to sit through a lot of monologuing, and you know, I have a graduate degree in aesthetics, so I sat through a lot of boring lectures in my life. But it's good for the performance if you like Hugh Grant, or if you're really interested in seeing something like this. It is probably a wait for it to come to VOD or catch it on streamer, because it really isn't necessary to see it in the theater.
All right. So, Bart and Jen, I want to thank you for coming out today. We'll maybe go see or maybe not go see Heretic. All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Chris.
All right. Well, don't go away because we have more when we return.